So I got a good question the other day here about how many projects is too many projects, or how many projects should you work on at the same time. My buddy Nick was talking about this to me in store because he was juggling multiple projects and he was, I think, struggling a little bit with it. So, and I think it's fitting to it, like, the tackling your pile of shame, New Year's resolution. It makes sense to kind of have a plan. That's kind of a motto I've been using a lot in the past, was like, plan your work your plan, and it's served me a lot, like just thinking about it this way. So I'm going to tell you how many projects that I'm juggling with, and then you can kind of maybe devise something around that works for you. And which is kind of my first tip here, is like, be careful who you listen to about this, because again, what I'm going to tell you is about my own personal hobby projects. It's not about like the commission things, and when this is really just like on the models I paint on my dime or on my spare time, right? And so your situation might differ, and then other advice that you might get from other people might be very, very different, where, they're painting all day, but they're mixing in their own projects, and then, turning out you should paint all day or whatever. So I think my number of projects is 3, but 3 very specific ones. It's not like 3 random projects. So I always try to have one project with a deadline, which usually is like an army to finish for an event. That's usually my deadline project. So as I have to start and finish this thing for like a certain date or a certain time, and something that I'm going to do a lot more in 2024 with the Army of the Month project that I want to play with a little bit. So that's project number 1. And then project number 2 is also something I want to get done, but that does not really have a date. For example, in 2023, I painted Custodes, and it's really very simple, as whenever I get models that I like for Custodes Army, I paint them. It's very simple. I get them whenever I'm tired of like working on like an army or something, or I have a break, or I'm tired of like seeing this grain stuff. Paint a little gold, paint the Custodes. And they're started, they're finished. Who cares, They're there. And these 2 projects, I try to never leave them at the same kind of like stage. So for example, if these guys are like built, I'm going to try to start the painting before I work on like building some more Custodes, so that they're never at the same, built, not primered, built and primed or whatever. So I have one that's built, one that's like half painted, and then same thing of like base coating and stuff. I try to juggle the levels so that they're never on the same level, because usually every painter has like the steps that they find the hardest, right? So I talk about this often. Mine is usually when I do the base coat, like the metallics for me is like a long step on like a big project. So for me, it's a hard one, and then building is also a tough one for me. So I try to, if I have like a lot of stuff unbuilt, it's never getting built. Like I need a lot of like Red Bull to get going to actively build stuff. So for me, getting stuff already built or already primed and ready to go, that's usually a big help. So I try to, not keep these 2 projects on the same level exactly, so then it doesn't look like a chore to get kind of like past that one step. And then my 3rd project is usually something I want to learn on. And this project will never get finished, or maybe never get finished, or maybe it will. Nobody cares, but it's a project of whatever, and it's something I just want to dabble with. I'm lucky. Usually, that's what you see on stream. If you watch the painting stream, I do a lot of these. Like, let's see what happens if we do this, and then I try something on. And these projects, usually on stream we finish them, so that's cool. I get to finish stuff. But a lot of these projects is something I could watch like the same tutorial 10 times and then try my hand at it, and then try again. And that's always my backlog project. And then once I feel like I'm comfortable with it, either I finish the miniature kind of quickly or whatever, or I move on to learning something different. I've learned what I wanted to learn with this. Okay, cool. I'm ready to move on. So that kind of like 3rd project, it kind of dies, right? I won't keep. Let's say I'm trying to learn how to do a cloak. Well, once the cloak is like finished, I won't let this miniature like sit somewhere that's like always looking at me, because that mini is finished for all of its purposes. So either I'm going to put it in the next month, or when I'm done with my Custodes, to keep the same example. When I'm done with the Custodes, well, the cloak guy becomes we're going to finish this guy. So now I finish the rest of the knot cloak of that mini, and then we move on to the next thing. So I always tried to juggle these 3 projects, and I found that like with less once you get bored, like let's say I just have the dead guard to work on and nothing else. If I get bored painting the metallics on them, it will take me a lot of time, and then I won't even paint because that's the only thing I got going for me. So I'll do million of other things except paint because I'll be kind of jaded with it. So having a second project to work on is fine, and also not having that project to learn on, I feel like it kind of at least for me, it kind of saps a little bit of the artistic drive. Like I like to, like I'm not like creating anything with, again, I'm using the dead guard because they're right here. I'm not really creating anything. I'm not learning anything because I paint them to the same standard because I want them to match, right? Like if I do this guy different from all of these other guys, this one will look a little bit stupid. So we're not reinventing anything. So having that one special project to do something completely different for me is really fun. Maybe you don't like painting because my videos are sometimes catered to people that don't really like painting but want to paint. So if you don't really like painting, maybe that project, don't have that second one. Just get two and then work on them at different levels. The levels is kind of the important part here. So I hope this helps you finding, how many projects is too many projects, and, get rid of that, get rid of that pile of shame. Fight the gray. Gone with the gray. I can think of like a dozen of these stupid little slogans to leave you guys on. Go get it, girl. So, you do you, boo.